Hello, everyone. How are we doing? Hello. I've just realized Ash has put the robot lawnmower out, and I saw it out the corner of my eyes, and I was like, "Wow, what's that?" Hello, everyone. How are we doing? Now, I'm well aware that there's probably not going to be a lot of people joining live. Because it's really sunny in the UK right now. It's like glorious. And number two, it is Easter half term. And I know that a lot of people are going away. A lot of people are taking full advantage of the nice weather. So what I thought I would do for those people who are still working, who are still on the grind, I thought I would do a little live talking about social media. Now, hands up, how many of you are just so sick and tired of having social media either on your to-do list? It's just been kind of floating around. You think you're doing the right things, but then nothing happens. You are just like, I want to do it. I know I should do it, but I just can't seem to get any ideas. I'm not sure what people want to see. I'm not sure what's actually going to get sales. I'm not sure what's actually going to get seen. I feel invisible by the algorithm, all the above. Let me know. How are we feeling with social media right now? Yes. Hi, Baleki. Hi, Cornelia. Hi, Helen. Hi, Christy. I keep saying Kirsty. It's Christy. Hi, Trisha. Hi, Ali. Hello, everyone. Jackie. Yes. Yeah, for sure. Lots of like hands up and like, yes. Ali says, yep, I'm the biggest procrastinator. Yes, me too. I am a big fan. So for me, I love to market. And like over my kind of like time, I guess, doing it, because I really started off in like the retail world, right? That was like 15 years ago. Did all of that, was like a manager, learned how all this kind of stuff. I was a stockist. I went to trade shows. I went to all that. But the problem that I found was the biggest issue was that it's all well and good creating products or buying products, you know, when I was in retail. It's all well and good having the products, right? We have no shortage ever of ideas, of products, of things we can create, of things we can sell. That's the fun part, right? The hard part is actually having to sell these things. We could have a million ideas, or 1,000,001 probably, but it's actually selling this stuff that is the real issue. Okay, so if you are new here, give me a little wave, say hello, say I'm new. Hi, Steph. If you don't know me, I am Steph. Hello. And I am founder of Handmade Bosses. As you can probably tell by the little like, oh, wrong side. There we go. A little bit over here. I am an author of a book, which is the wrong side. Everything's reversed to me, which is here. I've got some planners down here, literally all the things for handmade business owners. We are very fastly becoming the main like educational coaching hub for handmade business owners. So that is me. Hello. So today I really want to talk to you about two things, right? Number one, which is why your social media isn't working right now. Okay. And number two, actually what I would do differently if I was starting all over again. All of the above. Nicola, yes. Hello from sunny Leicestershire, where the kids are still at school. Oh, they're still at school, are they? I mean, ours broke up the 4th. So, and actually it was more like the 3rd because everyone had the Friday off. I handprint my own fabric and make decorative items. Yes. Cornelia, following you for about 3 years now. Ooh, you're like an OG. Have your book, love your podcast. Yes. Do you know what? I like complete side note here, but I do find, because I've been really grappling with this idea of like YouTube or podcast. Because for me, I feel like I can create better stuff when I'm not filming it because I'm not worried about the camera up here. And like I've been back and forth on it. But what I do find is that people who listen to the podcast, they're like every week on like, you know, what is it, 9 a.m. now on a Wednesday, we launched the podcast, and it's like, yes. Yeah, you had your time change. Yes, we did. We had it on the 30th, so like last weekend. Honestly, the time change really mucks me up. It really does, because I'm like, oh my god, it's, you know, it's like 9:30, but it's not, it's 10:30, and my body's like, what's going on? I don't want to go to bed yet. Been following you for a long time, and I am making jewelry. Love it. I prefer you on YouTube as I like to see you talk. Yeah, it really like depends, because for me, like, I'm gonna have to stop worrying about what's up here, and I'm always like, oh, I have to make eye contact. But the problem is that when I'm talking, I'm naturally kind of like looking down like this, because that's just how my brain, where my eyes go when I'm like concentrating on what I'm saying. So I'm gonna turn the camera on, but it's not gonna be as like engaging, because I'm not gonna be talking to the camera, you know. Hello from Paynton. Yes, I love Paynton. We went to Paynton Zoo actually in May, and I was like, ooh, it has changed a lot, but I still enjoyed it. I love the podcast. Listen every Wednesday on my commute to work, the only child-free piece I get. Love that. Thank you for squeezing me in. So that's what I basically want to talk about today, is why your social media isn't working. I'm going to be giving you like a list of like 5 kind of reasons that might be the case. And I would love for you to kind of like tell me, yes, this is me. Like, I'm going to raise my hand and say yes. And also I want to go through exactly what I would do differently if I was starting again. Now, one thing I will say as well is that the SMS is open right now. Let me just share my screen. It's not an open and closed thing, to be honest with you, but what we have done is basically we've just had the brandathon, right? And the brandathon was epic. Everyone got so much from it. It seemed to be like our most engaged challenge ever, which was awesome, right? But what I noticed was that there were a lot of people that were like, I really do want to, you know, propel things forward, but I can't swing the HBSA right now. So that's why we were like, okay, well, why don't we open up the SMS? We'll do a 48-hour free trial, and we'll add a bunch of bonus goodies. So basically, that's exactly what we have done. And if you go to, I'll pop the URL in. If you go to handmadebosses.com, /SMS with trial. That's like the special link that will give you the free trial. And basically, we've got all of these bonus goodies for you as well. And it's £34.99 a month, which is £1.17. I think it's £1.16, but we rounded it up for the sake of rounding it up. So we just thought we would just let you know that that is a thing, okay? Just mainly because I know that there were a lot of people who are like, I still want to work, you know, on my business. I still want to have some like feedback from you. I still want, you know, a little bit of Steph in my life, but I cannot swing the HBSA. So that's what we're doing. So without further ado, let's get into these 5 reasons, right? So reason number 1 is why your social media isn't working is you're only posting when you have time. Okay. And as we know, I don't know about you guys, but when I'm like, I am going to do XYZ, work out, drink more water, have less screen time, wear my glasses more, I'm going to do that when I have time. When we say that, it doesn't really get done on a consistent basis, not enough for it to make a damn difference. So if you are posting inconsistently, that's what kills growth. The algorithms across the board, Facebook, TikTok, Pinterest, Instagram, whatever else, Blue Sky, have all said that consistency is king. Now, consistency for you might look like 1 or 2 times a week. Consistency for me might look like 7 to 8 times a week. There's no kind of, I mean, I say there's like a minimum amount that you want to be posting, but actually that's less than you think, right? Social media basically rewards momentum, not perfection. Okay. Momentum, not perfection. So that is one thing that I would say, if you are feeling a bit like, this is me, I'm feeling like, yeah, that is me, then stop saying I'm going to post when I get time. Actually schedule it in, actually get some time in there. At the end of the day, you're posting because you want to grow your business. You're posting because you want to market what you have to sell. And I feel like as human beings, we tend to gravitate towards the stuff that we like doing, like creating, like, I don't know, doing whatever we like to do, whatever that is. But when it comes to actually doing the stuff that we don't like, we put it on the back burner, we procrastinate it. It doesn't have to be like that. Like, you can totally make it easier. You can totally gamify it. You can totally, you know, get everything you need, and all you have to do is change a few things. That is basically what the SMS is. Okay, I'm going to talk more about that later. So that's the first thing. Let me know if that is you. Number 2 is you're only posting to sell. Okay, and this is something I see a lot of. When I go onto like social media profiles, what I do see a lot of is buy my thing over and over and over again. That is categorically not what people follow you on social media for. Okay. They follow you to get more information on you. They follow you to kind of keep up with you. They follow you to build trust with you. Notice how I'm saying you and not your business, not your brand, right? Whilst they are interested in your business and your brand and what you have to say, in reality, they want to hear from you, right? They want to hear from you, which is why AI does not cut it. And actually, we are seeing a massive increase on people posting. Yeah, sure. But people are like, I can tell that's written by AI. I don't vibe with it. It's not you. So you need to basically mix in content that makes people feel seen, heard, understood, and inspired. Okay, that is the general rule of thumb. Is that hitting home with you guys? Cornelia's like, wow. I started wanting to post every day, then I went back to 3 or 4 times a week. It's better to keep it up for me. Yeah, that's it. It's better to reduce it down and actually be able to do it each and every week, rather than being like, right, I'm going to post 15 times a week, do it 1 week, and then never do it again, you know? So that is the second thing. The third thing is you're creating content and there's no like strategy involved. Listen, like for example, if you have some new products coming up, you're like, I think they're going to be ready in about three weeks time, maybe at the beginning of May, right? And you're thinking, yes, that's when I'm going to list them up on Etsy, your own website, whatever. If you are creating content now, why are you not roping that in and actually having like a little mini itty bitty product launch and saying, okay, right, I'm going to start to build hype. I'm going to start to say to people, you know, something new is coming. Here's what I'm working on. Do you want to see sneak peeks? This is my workspace right now, all that kind of stuff, you know? And that is basically the difference between posting with some kind of strategy in place versus just posting whatever, whenever, because you know you have to, you know? Most people do post randomly without any like messaging, without strategy, without some kind of goal in place. Now, you would have heard me before, and if you haven't, this is all included within the SMS, like a full-on training. But you need a mix between two things. You need a mixture of going wide content, which is designed to go wide, cast the net wide, reach new people, and going deep content, which is basically designed to nurture existing people. And we call that a T. So we've got the going wide and we've got the going deep here. Okay. So if you imagine a T, that is what your content is. Okay. Or what it should be doing. Okay. So there's no like hard or fast rule here either. You can do one, or you can do like 3 posts going wide, 1 post going deep. You know, it doesn't really matter what the breakdown is, as long as you're not doing all going wide or all going deep 1 week. You know what I mean? The fourth thing is, and I feel like this is a lot of you are stuck in this realm of comparison and perfectionism. Listen, how many of you, being honest, follow your competitors on social media, Instagram, Facebook, Pinterest, whatever? And how many of you see what they're posting and it actually just makes you feel terrible inside? It actually just makes you feel like, oh, like all those people are liking their content, they're engaging with it. How come when I post, I get like crickets, I get nothing? You basically delay posting because it's not good enough, right? But consistency does trump aesthetics, especially for beginners. Like I said, it's better to be consistent and actually just post something, even if it's like 85% of the way to perfect, rather than you waiting, not posting because you're like, oh, I don't want to post that because it's not quite perfect. It doesn't quite look right, all that kind of stuff. Yeah. Laura's like, makes so much sense. It's me. Right. I need to hydrate. I haven't drunk much this morning, so my mouth is really dry. Ali says, how do you differentiate between going wide and going deep in terms of content, audience, hashtags? So, content, comma, audience, comma, hashtags. So that is something that we detail all in the SMS, right? But just to like lightly answer what you've said, so they're both completely different. So I literally want you to split down the middle, going wide, going deep. They're all both very different. Now, obviously, don't forget, Instagram hashtags aren't really that important anymore. So you can almost kind of like put that to one side. You can use them if you really, really want to, but they've already said keywords. Hashtags are like, it's fine, whatever. So if you're talking about content audience, well, they're both for the same audience, but they're both for different reasons why that audience would engage. I'm actually going to be giving you like an example in a bit, so I don't know if it's worth like waiting for that, like on part 2 of this. But content will be completely different. Your captions completely different, because they're two completely different content types with two completely different goals, right? So I hope that makes sense. So that's the 5th thing. The 4th thing. The 5th thing is you don't understand exactly what your audience needs to hear. So it's good to focus on like features and benefits and like the actual, I guess, like utilitarian, practical side of what your product is. Hey, it's a water bottle. It holds 1 liter of water. It's got a little flippy cap on it. It's got a little safety catch. It's got a little handle. Yes. But that's not what makes people buy. We know what makes people buy, especially if you join in on the Brandathon challenge. You know what makes people buy, and that is emotions, desires, and lifestyle. That is what makes people buy. So while it's great to focus on the features and the benefits of said thing, actually you saying, you know what, never again are you going to be parched when you get caught short and you cannot get a drink. Never again are you going to have a sun headache because you're dehydrated, you're hot, you've always got your water around. Never again are you going to pay a ridiculously extortionate amount for a bottle of water when you already have 1 liter already with you. Not only that, you don't have to awkwardly carry it around. You have this lovely little handle. It will never leak in your car when you're driving because, hey, it's got this little flap. It's not going to flap open. So do you see what I mean? It's very different focusing on the features and the benefits rather than the actual, like, okay, this is what it's going to do for you, right? So I hope that makes sense. So the second part of this is I really want to talk to you a little bit about what I would do if I was going to grow a brand new account. And I actually really fancy doing this one day. I actually really fancy opening up an account and just growing it and just showing you exactly what I would do. But for now, this is basically what I would do. So I would start with the 2 content goals, as we know, going wide and going deep. So just a reminder, going wide is to reach new people with surface level, fun, engaging posts. So for example, you have things like relatable posts, memes, tips, quick behind the scenes, all those kinds of things. I feel like it's those posts that go viral. If you go in your explore bit on, say, Instagram, Pinterest, Facebook, you will see all sorts of going wide content, right? It's designed for the algorithm to push it out, okay? Then I would do going deep, and that is basically to nurture your existing audience with meaningful content, with meaningful stuff to connect with them. And that would be like examples, things like your journey, struggles, testimonials, deep truths, all those kinds of things. So that would be the very first thing that I would do. I'd say, right, okay, here's my business. Here's my focus for this week, 2 weeks, 3 weeks, whatever. And I'm going to split it straight down the middle. So I'm going to do like 4 going wide and 3 going deep, or 3 going wide and 3 going deep, whatever. Okay. Obviously, there are 7 days in a week, so you don't always have to split it down the middle. It can be slightly more on one side, slightly more on the other, as long as there's relatively equal footing, I'd say, on both. That would be my very, very first thing. The second thing would be I would use the 4 value pillars, which again is detailed. We have a complete beginners masterclass. Let me show you real quick, actually. We have a complete beginner. So if you look down on the left-hand side, I'm inside the SMS now. So basically, if you go to, let me go back up real quick. If you go here, Social Media 101, it's like a 3-part full video course where I basically show this to you. And I basically explain the differences between going wide, going deep, give you examples of 4 value pillars. So that is already included inside of the SMS. I'm not sure if that would be helpful, but it's already there for you. Okay. But the 4 value pillars are entertainment, educational, inspirational, relatability. Okay. So entertainment, educational, inspirational, relatability. Those are the 4 value pillars. Okay. How are we doing so far? Give me like a little thumbs up if you're like, yeah, I get it. I got it. before I carry on. Because what you basically want is every single one of your content pieces to A, have your goal, going deep, going wide, and B, one or more of those 4 value pillars baked in. Denise on YouTube says, I never post to sell. I post mostly stories on me and it never sells. So if you're just using stories, the problem with Instagram, which I assume is what you're talking about, right? The problem with Instagram is that there's lots of different content types. You've got reels, you've got carousels, you've got grid posts, you've got stories, you've got lots of different things. They are designed for different things. So your stories are not really designed to get pushed out to new people. In fact, if you go onto your Instagram analytics, you will see that your stories are not being really seen by people who don't follow you. So that is where actually I'd say, you know what, you probably need to sprinkle in some carousels and some reels in there as well. Also, reels are included in the SMS as well. So if you are struggling, let me just send you like the list of like and this is just the template. So every single month you get this. So you get stuff for Instagram, Facebook, Threads, and Pinterest. You don't have to use all these, but they're there if you want them. Okay, and you get 12 reels a month. What's going on here? Yeah, sorry. Let me see if those numbers are right. Let me have a little look. I don't know if the team are watching or not, probably not, but let me just double check that number is right. So I feel like SMS. Let me just find it and make sure. Right. I'm on the right page and it's not there. Okay, that's really annoying. Right. I need to find the correct doodah. So let me just see what this says. I know that is right. Sorry, it's just me. I don't know why. You know when you're looking at something and you're like, that doesn't look right. But anyway, so that is what you get each and every month. So just a little side note there. But it's really something where you have to use different content types, right? So I hope that helps, Denise. We got some thumbs up. Okay, cool. We've got lots of like thumbs up. Awesome. Lovely. That's what I like to see. So those are the first 2 things. Going wide, going deep, that's your content goal. Then you've got your value pillars in there as well. So what I would do, the third thing, is I would create content in batches. And I'm going to be honest, I would use the SMS. I would use templates. It doesn't have to be the SMS. If you're really like, no, Steph, that's fine. But I would use some kind of template because someone out there, me, but someone out there has done the hard work for you. So rather than you sat there going, oh, where am I posting? Why am I posting? What am I posting? Like someone out there has done the hard work for you. So what I'll do is I'll show you exactly how I would create a post. So we have the 48-hour free trial. I'm not quite sure if you guys know, but we're actually giving you 48 hours worth of social media done. So if you get your free trial and you go to this bit here, which says 48-hour free trial template, and if you click on it, it's got all of the information on there for you. Okay. But if you click on this, it's basically going to bring you to this. And this is basically what we give you each and every month. Okay. So we basically give you a nice little like themed PDF with everything you need, which is those 31 threads, 31 Pinterest posts, all that kind of stuff. So what I thought I would do is I would go through and this is how they're done, right? Where you have like the actual like guide there, captions, guide, hook, call to action, all that kind of stuff. And then we have the template. So in this example, we are giving you the square templates and the new 4x5. So you have complete choice whether you want to use it on Instagram or for Facebook, right? So, and this is part of your free trial. So what's on the screen right now, you can get for free. Okay. So what I would do is, let's say that I'm like, ooh, I quite like this one. I'm going to have a little click. What would happen is that it would bring you here. And then you just go to use template for new design, which is there. And then it will take you to here, where this is essentially your template for this post, which is my favorite part of the handmade process. Now, you'll see that each and every month with every post, we are giving you going wide, going deep, which is here. So whether it, let me just zoom in. So we are giving you whether it is going wide and going deep. We're giving you what to photograph if you want to put your own pictures in there. We're giving you a design guide in case you want to change it up. We are giving you a hook. We're giving you a caption. We're giving you a call to action. Can you guys see that okay before I crack on? Awesome. I bought the social media template package. I assume that's the same as the SMS. The SMS is different. The social media sidekick is very, very different. I think you're talking about the old package that we had. That is basically very set. And it's like, that's your posts, that's it. It's not as detailed as this. So basically, we took that and we were like, right, we need to put more support in there because there's a Facebook group with it as well. There's support with it. There, obviously, every single month you have like very, very themed, very dated posts, aka it's like, okay, you know, April, May, we have May the 4th, we have I think there's like National Story Day. We create a post for that, all that kind of stuff, right? So it's very different, but it's kind of the same as well. We actually discontinued that because we noticed that people were buying it and doing nothing with it. And also what we thought is that actually with social media, you have to be very on trend, very timely, very this, and you just were not getting that. Still very, very useful to have it all there. It's more of like a thing if you're like, right, I'm okay to just take that and run with it and go and completely rework it myself. Does that make sense? So, okay, so you end up, you have this template here. Let me just move my mic so I can get access to my keyboard. So basically what you can do is you can upload pictures if you want to. So let's just go to elements. Let's say that you sell jewelry. Let's just do jewelry. I'm just literally using any old example. So let's say we click and drag that in there. The best part of making insert product here is, so let's say you are creating a silver chain, which is basically what that is there. So you can literally go, the best part of making my, let's call it silver, let's do it in capitals, my recycled silver chain is, and then you can carry that on in the caption, which is how this is designed, because obviously we want people to spend as much time on your post as we can. So therefore, we are wanting to continue the story within the caption. Yeah. Now, you can also completely change the brand colors as well. Obviously, here we have the Handmade Bosses brand kit. So let's say you want to change the spots to that color. You want to change them to yellow. You want to change them to that color. Let's say you want to change the background color. You can do that too. Now, don't worry, I'm going quite fast, but there's a complete Canva how-to videos, everything you need to know in terms of how to use Canva. It's a free version as well, is already in the SMS. So if you are a bit like, I can't use Canva, you will by the time you've gone through the training, okay? And then you can add your logo in here. There's lots of different things that you could do. You just click the download button, jobs are good in, you have your post done. Now, obviously going back to this, you have it already here, okay? So that's basically how we do it each and every month. But as you can imagine, we're giving you everything you need for it. Okay, so that would be basically what I would do in terms of I would use the templates. I'd basically get someone to do the hard work for me. Okay, now that was the third thing. The fourth thing that I would do is to track what works, but I wouldn't focus on going viral. I do see a lot of people that are like, I want to go viral. I want to go viral. You absolutely do not want to go viral, because the problem with going viral is that you think more of my customers are going to see my post. Great. It doesn't quite work like that. What ends up happening is that you get a bunch of people who are not your target audience that comes into your profile, that follows you. And basically there's just this major disconnect. Your engagement rate drops because most people who are on your social profiles aren't your target audience. They don't vibe with what you're posting. So what happens is that your engagement rate drops and things start to go a little bit grey. You know what I mean? So tracking what works. You want to focus basically on the conversations, the relationships that you are building on social media. Social media does not work when you are looking at how many likes something has got, when you're looking at how many followers you have. Like, it doesn't work when you are looking at those vanity metrics. It just does not work like that. So if you are looking at your followers and going, I've only got 50, I've only got 100, that's fine. That's like, if you've got 100 people in a room that are all saying, I'm raising my hand and I'm actually interested in what you have to sell, that's a lot of people. So can you see how it's about focusing? You want buyers, not followers, right? You want people that are actually interested in what you have to sell. Yeah. Naomi, I've started a crystal business. I don't have many followers on Instagram. I always struggle to come up with content for Insta. Well, there you go. I've done it for you, my love. I'll pop the link in for you for the SMS. We've got a free trial of 48 hours, and we've also added 500 squiddly doos worth of bonuses as well. Suzanne says, I love it. It's super easy to cut, to customize. Yeah, and you've been rocking and rolling with it. I've seen your Facebook page. You've been going at it with it. I love it. So is that all making sense thus far? Okay. So I wouldn't necessarily be all about, I have to reinvent the wheel with my posts. That was point number 3. And I would track what works rather than looking at followers, likes. You know, comments are important because that's how a lot of conversations are actually sparked. You know, comment back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. And that's a little tip, by the way, is if you get a comment, ask a question, continue the conversation. Don't just go, thank you, and then that's it, because you want to actually continue what's being said. The 5th thing is that I would make showing up doable. So this kind of feeds into the very first point that I made, which is, don't just say, I'll do that when I get time. You need to like build it into your weekly or your daily or your monthly even tasks. So with the SMS, again, we give you all of the content between the 19th and the 20th of each month. It's all dropped in that month for the following month. So let's say like May's will be dropped on the 20th of April. We do it like that because a lot of people want to spend a few hours just scheduling everything out for the entire month. Boom, done. Whereas there are some people that want to do it weekly. So we give you that kind of option. It's there when you need it. If you want to batch it, you can, which I'd recommend because then it just gets it done. And I really do feel that doing things like that, like batching, putting it in your weekly calendar, all those kinds of things, it just makes showing up doable for you, even if you've only got 20 minutes a week, right? So my final thought here, really, to wrap it all up, is that you don't need more time. You just need a system that works for you. And that is the thing, having the right strategy, the right support, the right, like, you're actually putting your time into stuff that is actually working for your business, rather than, you know, starting a social media profile thinking, yeah, I'm going to do this, do it for like a week or two, not get results, feel discouraged, feel sad, and then don't do it again, and then feel guilty and guilt trip yourself for not doing it, or not doing it right, or not posting enough, or whatever else. You don't really need to spend a lot of time doing this. Does that make sense? Ali says, I'm also a member of the HBSA. Is the SMS content available to me, or is it an extra cost? It's an extra cost, mainly because we do have, in phase 4, we do have marketing like support in there, but it's mainly of like the strategy of like the how-to. It's not really actually doing it for you each and every month, if that makes sense. So it's an extra cost, but it is something that works really well alongside it, because obviously the thing is with the HBSA, so it's quite a chunky course. So what happens is that maybe you'll go full into like the modules, which is great. But like in the meantime, it still would be a good idea to market your business, to keep those views and keep, you know, the visits coming in on the back burner whilst you're making changes. So, you know, it works really well in that respect, because you don't have to put much thought into it. It's all pretty much done for you, like I just showed you. It's all let me just share this tab instead. There we go. It's all done for you. So it's good because if you're doing something, and that can be rebranding, it can be doing the HBSA, it can be relaunching, it can be creating a bunch of new products, it can be creating Christmas products if you want to. I spoke to someone the other day and she's already doing her Christmas products, and she's like, this is great because it means I don't have to put a lot of time and energy into the social media because I already have it done. So yeah, what would you start with if you just started your social profile? So I would just start posting. Obviously there are things you need to make sure that your bio is optimized, you've got your highlights sorted, and actually, again, in the bonus bit of the SMS we give you all the stuff that you need for that. But I would make sure that everything is sorted, as in SEO wise, your profile's optimized, everything is looking very branded and spick and span. That should take you a couple of hours at most, and then I would just start posting. The quicker you start posting, the quicker you can measure things and track things and see what's working and what's not. Alicia just asked you something that's like, what I'm about to say, and answer my question. that's how I've just started the HBSA. You also asked about start phase 2. Would starting this about phase 2 work together or finish the HBSA first? No, I would absolutely do it running alongside each other, because I just feel as if it's like, what, you have the marketing chugging along, working alongside in the background. Because basically what you don't want, and why the algorithms, and to be honest, me as well, why I'm always like, okay, we want to make sure we're staying consistent with this, is because what happens, right, is that, let me see if I've got a graphic. I used to have a graphic for this. I don't think I do anymore. No, I don't. So basically what happens is that you end up, whenever you have a busy order time, that can be Christmas, it can be the summer, it can be spring, whatever your busy times are, your time for socials dip, right? Let me just get that off screen so you can see my hand. Your time to do socials goes, whoa. So the amount you post on the socials goes, whoa. But what happens is that when you get quiet again, your efforts go up. So what happens here? You get a social media posting or marketing schedule that looks like that. That is going to get what result? Orders that also do this. When we want orders that do that, therefore our marketing should be doing that. Does that make sense? I know I'm waving my hands around like a crazy person. It's not the first time, let's be honest. But do you see what I mean? If you want consistent orders, consistent views, consistent results, whether that's orders, follows, whatever, you need to not be doing this, you need to be doing that. And the only way to do that is to be consistent. Is there anyone who has Insta pages that I can check out who are part of the SMS? I want to see how it might work for different businesses. I don't have any physical products such as I design digitally and then print. There's no maker process as such that I can show except screen recordings of my iPad. Yeah. So if anyone's part of it and they're here, if you comment your Instagram, if you've used them. But what I can do for you in the meantime is, that was just one example, right? So let me just zoom out real quick. This is Adobe. It's a friggin' nightmare. So let's say for example here, this is a carousel post for the wedding season, right? But you can absolutely change this. We have people that sell digital downloads. We have people that sell pod using these. That's the beauty with it, is that you can actually change it and use it. So that example probably is not a good example to show if you don't actually have that process involved. But here, we are talking about things that you can sell for the wedding season. So let's just click on the template and let's show you how we would do this. So carousel, as we know, carousels are huge right now. They are absolutely huge, because actually carousels and reels are on level pegging when it comes to going wide. So we have really gone all in with the whole carousel thing. So you can change these. You don't have to use it exactly as is, but there are different templates that you can apply for whatever you sell. Is that making sense? I'm not sure if I make a lot of sense sometimes, but do you see what I mean? Where features, benefits, that should be stuff that you are talking about no matter what products you have. Social proof, call to action, all that kind of stuff. But notice how it's not like dedicated to just physical in-person products. Does that make sense? So what you do is that you basically, once you've done this, and it can be anything from let me go to like wedding. You don't say what you do. So let's say you've got let's say you create like a wedding guest book. Maybe you could do something like that. Obviously the text needs to be changed, but maybe you could do something where you are, oh, I didn't mean to do that, you're doing that. Or maybe even, no, hang on, I got excited. My ADHD brain's going nuts right now. Maybe you do something like that where you're creating like a wedding guest book with the video behind, and then maybe you are also adding something like that, which is your product here, right? And then you're talking about, okay, this is why I do this. This is this. When you say carousel, do you mean stories or posts? So when I say carousel, it's a grid post that you can scroll through. So let me just show you mine. So this is my most recent one. So this is a carousel, right? Where basically you can scroll through it. Does that make sense? This is a static grid post because you can't scroll through it. Does that make sense? It's not a story. Stories are completely different. We also give you story templates and stuff as well in there. And it's kind of a post, but it's a different kind of post. So grid posts are split into two different types: static, carousel. This is a static. You can't scroll through it. It's just a picture. Boom, done. A carousel is where you can scroll through. Does that make sense? Yeah, Instagram can be a little bit confusing. So there are lots of different like content types. And sometimes you are a bit like, so my social media is working really well, making content. I'm struggling with turning it into Etsy sales. Okay, so that is saying to me, you are doing well in the going wide, but you're not doing so well in the going deep, because going deep is where you would convert people. Going deep is where you would actually start to turn followers into buyers, right? So that would be what I would say is the number one focus for you. You're probably doing the going wide stuff fabulously, but actually the going deep might not be doing so hot. And actually, to be honest with you, going deep is where you should be, excelling at, because that is where your target audience, what they want to hear. And really looking at, again, like I mentioned before, people just don't want to see the features and the benefits. It's good to talk about that in some capacity, but actually we also want to look at, okay, how is this product going to change my life emotionally? What am I going to get from it? What lifestyle changes will I get? Does that make sense? If it makes total sense. This is awesome stuff, Steph. You are welcome. With grid posts, you suggest adding music. I find the static photos with info and music overstimulating. Yeah, no, I don't. I have ADHD. So for me, if I'm trying to read and there's like, blah, 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 I'm a bit like, what? So I personally don't, and I wouldn't. We have tested it, but people just were bouncing off because they were like, so yeah. Assume we download from SMS and customize the templates to suit our specific businesses, allowing us to tweak and reuse for future use. So we give you everything you need every month. So you shouldn't you shouldn't need to tweak for future use, because you can tweak it there and then, schedule, dusted, done. So let's say we were doing, let's say we were going to use this one, right? You can absolutely tweak it. You can tweak it as much as you like. You can make that, oh, my doorbell's going off. Brilliant. I'm going to miss my parcel. That's annoying. So you can tweak it. You can make this bigger. You can put that down there. You can pop your logo up here instead. You can, like I said, you can tweak it to your heart's content, right? But once you tweaked it, scheduled that, it's done. What we do is let me go back to here we go. So what we do is we give you everything you need for that one post, and then May will give you the list again, and then June the list again. So to be honest with you, you shouldn't really need to tweak it in the future, because it's scheduled, done, dusted, Does that make sense? I wouldn't recommend reusing it over and over again, mainly because if you're posting the same content each and every month, you're just tweaking a few bits, people will notice and they'll kind of drop off, which is why we give you new stuff every single month. We kind of split it between like 30 to 50% like dated stuff. So stuff that is specific for each month, May, June, summer, autumn, whatever. 50% stuff that is kind of, you can sprinkle in whenever. Does that make sense? But I would avoid posting the same kind of content, even if it's like, let's say you did this version and then the next month you did this version. I probably wouldn't recommend it, mainly because people are going to notice. What's a B-roll, please? So a B-roll is basically, let me share this. So see behind here, let me just get rid of that. See behind here, you have a video of like, I know this is blurred, it's meant to be blurred, but a B-roll is things that you will see, you know, when you see those reels, maybe I'll grab one, you know, when you see those reels where you are, here we go, let me share this, where there is a video behind and then there's text on top. The video behind is B-roll. We actually do have a whole B-roll like mini checklist lesson explaining more about it actually in the SMS. I've got the hiccups now, but just like a lightly explaining it, that's what it is. It's basically secondary footage that complements what like your point you're trying to get across. So in this example, it is this point here, and there is a video of me behind it, if that makes sense. Right, let me get that off the screen so you can actually see me now. Which Apple software do you use to schedule? So I just use Meta Business Suite now. I used to use Later. Meta Business Suite is free. Later costs me £35 a month. I think it's like either 35 or 40 pounds a month. And to be honest with you, I use Meta Business Suite now, which is free. It's a little bit clunky, but it's not so different. And to be honest with you, if I was you, I wouldn't pay to use a scheduling software. I'd pay for templates instead. Because like the scheduling software is free. Meta gives it to you completely free, absolutely free, no strings attached. So I'm like, why would you spend money on that these days when you can actually spend money on like something like the SMS? It doesn't have to be that, like the SMS, where you get the templates and everything you need for free. Does that make sense? So that's where I'm a bit like, yeah, you know, I probably wouldn't necessarily do that because you don't need to these days. Yeah, Later's good. You've got Metrical, you've got Later, you've got, I mean, yes, loads of them, but you are going to be paying at least £15 a month, if not more, for it. We use Canva. For everything that you've seen, we use the free version of Canva. Yeah, I hope that helps. So, my loves, is there any more questions you have about the SMS? I'm going to be live for a couple more minutes. Because I'm baking. Actually, I'm going to open my window. 2 seconds. Because it's really warm in here. I'm absolutely baking and I'm starving. But are there any questions that you have? If you do think of any questions and I'm not live, you can either pop them in the Facebook group or you can like DM me because I'm always on Instagram. That is my home hub. So, yeah, if there's any questions or anything that you're like, damn, I should have asked her, completely can. By the way, what I will say is all of this stuff, all of the SMS stuff is closing on the 9th, okay? So let me just grab that. This is the sign up page. So I'm just scrolling through. So all of this will disappear in 3 days, 6 hours, 6 minutes, 51 seconds. So on the 9th at 8 p.m, the free trial will go, the bonuses will go, and it will just go back to like the normal thing. You can also cancel any time as well. I should have said that too, but yes, you can cancel any time. So it's not like you're locked in. You can, it's like a rolling thing. The only thing with that is that if you bought it now when we have like the bonuses and all that, then you later cancelled and rejoined, you wouldn't get the bonuses. Also as well, At some point this year, we are likely going to increase the price, mainly because we are adding more stuff to it, as you can see by the whopping great list of bonuses. And if you were to leave and then rejoin when it's a higher price, it would be at that higher price. So we're basically kind of giving you like a little forewarning saying, you know, you've got like a free trial and some bonuses and you're locked in at that price if you stay in. You can cancel at any time, but there is that thing there. Or you can schedule directly in Instagram too. Yes. It's there's lots of like scheduling tools. It's surprising actually to me why it took them so long to actually include that. Like you'd think Facebook and Instagram, they'd be like, what's the biggest problem that our users have? Scheduling content. And you'd be like, why didn't they bring this out 10 years ago? I don't know. They did in groups, but not in like the normal stuff. But anyway, yes, you can schedule directly natively on the platforms if you like. Pinterest does it now as well. Threads, you can schedule stuff in. In fact, Pinterest, Threads, Facebook, Instagram, X, Blue Sky, you can all schedule stuff in. Well, I've just started the HBSA. Now you've got me on SMS as well. We would love to have you. As you guys know, I only kind of create stuff that I think will genuinely be helpful and useful. It takes a lot of energy, a lot of time, a lot of effort, a lot of blood, sweat, and tears, believe me, to create something like the HBSA, like the SMS, which is why we don't have a lot of products. We just have like the kind of main ones. And that's a very strategic reason, mainly because I don't want to be like having loads of different stuff and people getting confused. And also, like I said, it takes a lot of effort to run this thing. And also you do get the Facebook group as well. God, there's just so much stuff that I keep forgetting to mention, but you get the premise. I will pop in the link in the comments for you, so you'll have it. Have a little nosy. X is basically the replacement for Twitter. I honestly, I hate Twitter. I hate X too. I hate them both. I just cannot stand them. I also don't like LinkedIn much either. X is basically Twitter. When a certain someone bought it, he changed the name, he changed this, he changed that, and basically it's just become a swamp of human emotion. So that's why I don't really talk about it. If you want to use it, that's totally your thing. That's just my personal opinion. I much prefer Threads because I think Threads is a much more positive space. I love Threads. I don't like X. The funny thing is it's basically the same premise, but the attitudes are just so much different. Right then, my loves, thank you so much for joining me. I will be live again every single Monday. I haven't scheduled them in yet. So if you're like, oh, why isn't there live scheduled in? It's just because I literally haven't got around to it. Thank you so much. I hope that this was useful. If you do have any questions, you can pop them in the group. You can email us. You can DM us, whatever feels good for you. I'm usually on Instagram DMs. So if you Instagram DM me, you'll probably get me. And then we can have a little chat back and forth to see if it's right for you and all that kind of stuff. But for now, my loves, thank you so much for joining me. I can't wait to see you all in the SMS because it's going to be really, really good. We've already got like 50 members in there, so that, you know, lots of people are like, it's good. But yeah, thank you so much for joining me. I need to drink some more water because I've not drunk nearly enough. But for now, my loves, I will see you all real soon. Bye, everyone.